Coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios, this is Prime News on SABC 3. Here are the top stories making headlines this evening. Vodacom has released a statement to shareholders today indicating that it has reached an out-of-court settlement in the Please Call Me matter with Nkosana Makate.
It will be naive to think that what the task team can do, the unit can also do.
Crime Intelligence Head Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo says it would have been the worst mistake to release the much talked about 121 PKTT dockets to any other police unit. And Acting Police Minister Feroz Kachalia says that the timing of the disbandment of the political killing task team made no sense as it came amid the high levels of organized crime in the country. At the back of those headlines, it has just gone 8 o'clock. Good evening and a warm welcome to this Wednesday edition of Prime News on 3. I am Paulette Nell. Great to be in your company this evening. Let's start with this. Vodacom has released a statement to shareholders today indicating that it has reached an out-of-court settlement in the Please Call Me matter with Nkosana Makate. It says the board approved a settlement agreement and that it has been accounted for in the group's interim results for the 6-month period ended 30 September 2025, which are said to be released later this month. It says as a part of the settlement process, a notice was sent to the Supreme Court of Appeal withdrawing Vodacom's appeal, while a notice was sent to the High Court to abandon the 8 February 2022 judgment in the matter. The figure agreed upon was not made public. To this now, Crime Intelligence Head Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo says it would have been the worst mistake to release the much talked about 121 PKTT dockets to any other police unit. General Khumalo says these sensitive dockets ended up under lock and key at the office of the suspended Deputy National Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya in Pretoria after the political killing task team was disbanded on December 31st, 2024. He told the Matlanga Commission that the dockets were not only at an advanced stage of investigation, but were particularly prioritized by the specialized PKTT team.
The discussion that talks to these dockets, the way they were and are investigated, to be transferred to a normal murder and robbery or whatever name investigation unit will not make sense because the unit is totally different from a task team. You cannot talk to those two as if one can replace another. The unit of, let me first start with another example. The unit of National Intervention Unit, the combat, it is made up of operatives that have successfully completed the National Intervention training. Only them. No one else can be part of that unit. Same applies to an investigative unit or a murder and robbery unit. It is made up of investigators. Then the task team, the difference is you draw expertise from different units to make a task team. So it will be naive to think that what the task team can do.
Khumalo further told the commission that before dissolving the political killing task team, a thorough review of the team's performance and its contribution to reducing crime should have been considered.
If the decision was taken in good faith, the minister will have presumably have already done this analysis that is required in the closing report. That was supposed to be done prior to the decision. That is my view on that point, Commissioners.
Meanwhile, Acting Police Minister Feroz Kachalia says that the timing of the disbandment of the political killing task team made no sense as it came amid the high levels of organized crime in the country. Kachalia was responding to questions during Parliament's ad hoc committee investigating police corruption and political meddling within the justice system. The Acting Police Minister added that the problem goes deeper than just the killing of politicians and they are not restricted to one province.
Acting Police Minister Feroz Kachalia, the eighth witness on the hot seat before Parliament's ad hoc committee. Kachalia told the committee that it became apparent that although National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola initially disagreed with Police Minister Senzo Mchnu's decision to disband the political killing task team, he ultimately complied with the directive. Masemola reportedly advised that the transfer of the team's case dockets should occur in a systematic and gradual manner to protect the integrity of the investigations and the interest of affected families.
The dockets should be, there was some public reporting that the dockets were in the hands of General Sabir, that he explained to me that he had advised the minister that fine, you've said it should be disbanded, but the docket should be transferred in a systematic, incremental way, so that I assume to ensure that the integrity of those case dockets was preserved.
The committee is expected to hear testimony from the head of the Investigating Directorate Against Corruption, Advocate Andrea Johnson, on Thursday.
Number one.
Welcome back to this now. Police have confirmed that a successful search and seizure warrant has been executed on controversial businessman Brown Mokgotsi. This after Mokgotsi met with the police's investigation team earlier today in the presence of his attorney. It's understood that Mokgotsi also provided police with a statement on the sequence of events that took place on a Monday night following the alleged drive-by shooting incident in which he was involved.
Has successfully executed the search and seizure warrant that was issued for the 16th of October in Mahikeng for Mr. Brown Mokgotsi. The team investigating the fraud, corruption and defeating the ends of justice case has also seized certain devices from him. The team met at Brown Mokgotsi's lawyer's offices in Johannesburg. The team investigating the attempted murder case from the Vosloorus police station have also met with Mokgotsi, and no further comment will be provided at this stage as investigations into both cases continue.
Furthermore, crime expert Chad Thomas says Brown Mokgotsi has become a classic case of a moving target. Thomas says it is not only concerning but frustrating that the controversial Northwest businessman has managed to evade police for this long.
It's very frustrating sitting on the sidelines and watching Brown Mokgotsi, how he's operated and what we've got to learn about in the last couple of months. Right at the outset, when he became the focus of intense scrutiny as to his role as a go-between, a fixer, a facilitator involving politicians, tenderpreneurs and senior policemen, at that point in time, his devices should have been seized. We're now hearing that the warrant was issued on the 16th and he's evaded the police up until now. And of course, we've got this added complication of the so-called hit, which a lot of people believe to have been staged. Why I say it's frustrating is we all know how easy it is to lose a device, have a device stolen, or have a device cleaned. We don't know whether the devices he's handed over are the devices he was using last year or the beginning of this year. We don't know whether it contains the information that the state is looking for in order to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that this man was in fact engineering, fixing and facilitating a lot of activity which is now deemed to have been of a bad nature.
And in news just in, the South African Police Service has received a surrender order from the Eswatini government for the two Ndimande brothers who are wanted in South Africa for a string of cases, including the murders of Keenan aka Forbes and Tebello Tibbs Motswane. Police spokesperson Athlenda Mate says they are finalizing logistical arrangements to execute the order on Tuesday next week.
The National Commission of SABC, General Fani Masemola, takes this opportunity to thank the Eswatini authorities for their cooperation and assistance in firstly apprehending the pair and ultimately ensuring that they are brought back to the country to answer to crimes committed. The two Ndimande brothers, Siabonga and Malusi Ndimande, abandoned their extradition appeal on Monday, the 3rd of November 2025. The SAPS remains confident that it has a watertight case against the pair, who face 24 charges relating to 3 cases. These include conspiracy to commit murder, attempted murder, unlawful possession of automatic firearms and ammunition, amongst a host of other charges. Interpol South Africa and Interpol Eswatini are in talks to arrange the handing over of the two wanted brothers.
All right, to this now, the upcoming local government elections are expected to see intense high level of contestation. This as the number of political parties registered with the IEC currently stands at just over 500. The Electoral Commission has vowed to educate these entities, many of whom have been in government, about political and civic education. This includes their obligations, including a disclosure of donations they have received to the IEC.
Number of parties continues to grow as the country prepares for the local government elections. The IEC has registered 62 new political parties since last year's polls, bringing the number to over 500.
Of parties currently stands at 508 parties. Of these 508, 295 are registered at a national level. In other words, they can contest all elections of all municipalities, all provincial legislatures, as well as for seats in the National Assembly. 404 are parties that are either registered at a provincial level and therefore may only contest seats in that provincial legislature and the municipalities in that province.
Local polls, by-elections, which is an election that takes place in a municipal ward between general municipal elections, will cease to exist.
The cessation of by-elections, as the name suggests, only applies to by-election. It does not extend to proportional representative councillors.
On issues around political party funding, 90% of the parties in Parliament submitted their audited financial statements to the Commission on time, except for Fadil Adams' National Coloured Congress and Musi Maimani's Build One South Africa. SABC News, Johannesburg.
Thank you for staying with us. To this now, the bail application of prominent Pietermaritzburg security boss Bruce Mhlongo, who faces charges of murder and attempted murder, has been set down for Monday next week. 52-year-old Mhlongo, the owner of Njomo Security, has been charged with 4 murders and 2 attempted murders in Imbali, Pietermaritzburg in 2022. This arrest came 2 weeks after Mhlongo was charged with the murder of a teacher at Kwapata, also in 2022. Mhlongo is alleged to have killed 4 people and attempted to kill 2 others in 2 separate shootings between May and September in Imbali in Pietermaritzburg in 2022. Meanwhile, Mhlongo was also charged last month with the murder of a primary school teacher, Tabani Zondi. The state alleges that Mhlongo supplied the firearms and transport for Zondi's killers. In 1999, Mhlongo admitted his involvement in the murder of UDM leader Sfiso Ngabinde in Richmond, but turned state witness. Mhlongo remains in custody for the other pending matters.
SABC, host broadcaster of the G20 South Africa 2025.
And here's the latest market update as at 7:30 this evening. Well, with that, the time now for the latest weather update. Stay tuned.
Thank you very much and a very warm welcome to the weather desk. Time for us to look at those conditions over the country. It is going to be a rainy night over most of that interior of Limpopo. We're talking scatter showers and thunder showers for tonight, stretching into Mpumalanga and also KwaZulu-Natal. We do expect some morning fog patches over the escarpment of KwaZulu-Natal, stretching into that interior of the Eastern Cape, which means that visibility will be reduced over those areas. It is still isolated as we move to other central parts of the country for tonight. For tomorrow, we start to see a bit of intensifying. We're expecting up to 80% chance of showers and thunder showers as we move into the interior of Mpumalanga, stretching into parts of the Free State. Still scattered over Gauteng, Limpopo, the Northwest Free State, and also KwaZulu-Natal. It is also going to be a foggy morning over most of that central parts of the country, stretching into Limpopo, Mpumalanga, all the way to other southern parts of the country, stretching into that interior of the Northern Cape, all the way into Alexander Bay and Springbok. We're expecting visibility to be reduced for tomorrow in the morning. So please, those who will be on the road, let's be careful. Looking at our warnings for tonight, it is a level 2 warning of some severe thunderstorm as we move into Limpopo, Mpumalanga, and KwaZulu-Natal. And also, we do expect a level 1 warning of some damaging winds over that coast of the Western Cape for tonight and also for tomorrow. Also for tomorrow, it is a level 2 warning of severe thunderstorm as we move to other central parts of the country. Do remember, the severe thunderstorms can be accompanied by a large amount of small hail, so make sure that your cars are safe, and also heavy downpours which can lead to flooding, and also possibilities of strong damaging winds and also lightning. Overnight temperatures, it is going to be a cool night over most of the country, but should be cold as we move into Calvinia and Sunderland, where Sunderland will be down to 5. Maximum temperatures for tomorrow, it is going to be a warm day over Cape Town with a high of 26. Hot conditions over Appleton with a high of 36. Rainy conditions as we move toward the central parts of the country. Up north, Musina expecting a warm day with a maximum of 30. That's all the weather I have for you. Stay tuned.
And that's it from us for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Until next time, good night. God bless. Pula.